So, you think you know Elf, one of the biggest Christmas movies of all time? Well, trust me, you don't know half of the insane stuff that went on behind the scenes. From a lost hockey sequence where Buddy becomes a candy-powered Wayne Gretzky on ice, to the abandoned asylum that they film horror movies in, and wait until you hear about the secret Marvel connection. Yep, this Christmas classic is way crazier than you remember it, so let's dive into 10 fun, crazy facts about Elf that you probably didn't know. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. Alright, so 10 fun facts about Elf that you probably didn't know. These are a lot of fun and pretty crazy and add just a little bit more fun to the holiday season. We're going to jump right into the list with the big Marvel connection to Elf. So that is Jon Favreau directed Elf. Now, a lot of you probably maybe know this, or you could find this on IMDb, but before Iron Man, before launching the MCU, before creating The Mandalorian, Jon Favreau directed Elf. And it was his first major studio hit. So that really gave him the power to move forward with all those other projects. Maybe we don't get those without the success of Elf. Basically, there would be no MCU. Maybe no Baby Yoda, Grogu, Mandalorian. Maybe nothing like that. Perhaps Buddy the Elf just helped save Hollywood by putting Jon Favreau on the map. Another fun fact about Elf is something that you probably could see if you really thought about it. It is that the entire film is based on the look of the Rankin-Bass Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer classic. Favreau insisted the movie feel like a live Rankin-Bass Christmas special, specifically the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special. The bright colors, the oversized props, even Buddy's costume were all intentionally inspired by that classic stop-motion world of Rudolph. Elf isn't just a nostalgic movie, it is engineered to be nostalgic, and that is pretty awesome. And for my horror fans out there, this one is going to hit you right in the feels, and that is they filmed parts of Elf in a creepy, abandoned asylum. Yes, huge chunks of interior shots, including the mailroom, the hallways, and some office scenes were filmed in an abandoned psychiatric facility in Vancouver that is frequently used to film horror movies. So I think you have things like some X-Files episodes even, or Final Destination. There's several horror movies that are filmed here. So yes, Buddy the Elf walked the same halls as ghosts, demons, and probably 3 or 4 vengeful nuns. Next up is a fun fact that I teased in the opening that a lot of you probably cannot believe unless you have this on the special features, and that is there is a lost hockey scene that almost made the movie. And this one's wild because there was originally a full hockey sequence where Buddy joins a team of elves in the North Pole for a pickup game of hockey. Buddy uses tons of sugary snacks as performance enhancers and skates like a maniac and causes total chaos. It was storyboarded, mostly filmed, and then cut for pacing. We do get a suggestion of Buddy and his sports supremacy over the other elves in a photo of him like stiff arming some elves as he's dunking a basketball. But this is one where you could have had Buddy cross-checking some elves, yelling, "I love you," as he hits his slap shot. That would have been pretty funny to see in the movie. This next fact gives me a little bit of heartburn, and that is that Will Ferrell really ate spaghetti with syrup and candy on top. No camera tricks, no fake food. Ferrell actually downed mouthfuls of syrup, Pop-Tarts, M&Ms, and chocolate sauce on spaghetti in multiple takes, take after take. So somewhere His pancreas is still trying to recover in the North Pole because you can see how much candy is dumped on top of this, and then the syrup over the top. Yeah, that gives me heartburn just thinking about it. The next one is one that I really enjoy as a filmmaker, an indie filmmaker who has to get shots any way you can, and that is Buddy's reactions in New York City are mostly real, and that's because Favreau shot guerrilla style in real New York City, outside with a skeleton crew. So Buddy, where he hangs on to strangers, runs up, hugs them, does all this crazy stuff around New York City, jumps across a sidewalk and the crosswalk. These people around them had no idea what was going on. So the part where he runs up and hugs a guy, he's really just running up and hugging a stranger who probably really didn't like it. At least he seemed like he didn't like it. He didn't know what the heck was going on because all of that stuff was guerrilla filmmaking, just done in the moment. So most of that was real. Now, the next fact kind of goes back to an earlier fact, but I really dig this, and that is that Narwhal and the snowman scenes were done with the same old school techniques that they made the Rankin Bass stop motion films with, claymation, as we called it. So instead of CGI, Favreau used the stop motion style animation and practical effects to mimic that Rankin Bass vibe. It isn't CGI gloss, which is part of the handmade charm of it, and probably part of the reason that Elf ages much better than other CGI heavy Christmas movies today. I love the old school approach. I dig Jon Favreau as a filmmaker. Now, the next one is one that actually kind of took me by surprise because I didn't know it until I was researching for this video, and that is that Jim Carrey was originally considered and the first choice to play Buddy the Elf. So in the 90s, the script was floated around Hollywood with Jim Carrey attached to it. But by the time the production finally started, Carrey had kind of moved on from these type of movies and everything, and Will Ferrell stepped in. And that gave us the version that now we can't imagine any other way because Will Ferrell is synonymous with Buddy the Elf. So Ace Ventura, Elf in Tights, I don't know, man, but I do dig the Will Ferrell version. Now, the next fact is one that kind of ties back again to Rudolph, and I just dig it. What can I say? The big snowball fight towards the end of the film, the final act, was inspired by Rudolph 2. That big Central Park snowball showdown, Favreau intentionally shot it like the action scenes in Rudolph, where the elves fight the abominable snow monster. Even the sound design in that scene is meant to feel retro. So Elf is secretly a love letter to 1960s Christmas animation and Christmas movies that came before. A little bonus piece of trivia here: Peter Billingsley of A Christmas Story is the main elf in this film. So that is a little bonus one here. Lots of reverence paid to what came before you, and I really dig that. I think it adds to part of the reason why we love this movie so much. All right, and we are going to end with a fun and ridiculous fact because this movie is fun and ridiculous and we love it for it. And that is that Will Ferrell hated wearing the yellow tights. In fact, they were so tight, so uncomfortable, they caused him a very personal holiday discomfort, and they were so tight and difficult to wear and get on and off. The crew joked that he should have been credited as Buddy the Smuggler instead of Buddy the Elf. He suffered for our Christmas joy, and I just think it's funny to know that he was running around in these tights that were ridiculous and uncomfortable and looked ridiculous. That's perfect for the film. It kind of goes hand in hand. A funny little piece of trivia to end our 10 fun facts. And there you go, 10 fun facts that you probably didn't know about Elf. If you want more behind the scenes Christmas deep dives, nostalgic deep dives, movie rankings, movie recommendations list, all that stuff. We do a lot of Christmas stuff around this time of year, but it's all movies and pop culture all the time, how relevant they are, deep dive discussions, video essays, so much more. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you are here for it all. Make sure you share it so that we get out there in the YouTube land and find our voice, because if you never miss an episode, that's the way Buddy would want it. And that's what I got for you this time. If you'd like to support the channel even more, you can join my Patreon. The link is below, where you'll get special members only videos, get your name in lights on every single video, behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, and so much more. And everything goes back into the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas. I know.